time to get real. I want to see some crazy whiz-biz.
What's the magic made out of, Ding Dong?
I want to see some of that whiz-biz.
This castle is in unacceptable condition! Unacceptable! Mathematical!
Maybe you're terrible at that.
Bacon pancake!
Welcome back to the WizBiz podcast with Alex and Eric. I am Eric.
And I am Alex.
And on this podcast, in case you haven't picked up on it by now, we talk about the cartoon Adventure Time. And in this episode, we will be discussing Adventure Time Season 1, Episodes 21 and 22, which are called Donny and Henchman, respectively. With that, I'm going to say, how's it going, Alex?
Eric, it's going just terrifically. That's, I don't know. Life's going. You can hear my voice. I had a tube in my throat and my voice is all weird now. And I want it to go back to normal.
This might be your new podcasting personality, Intubated Alex.
Yeah. So, audience at home, just to catch you up, I've gone to like a full Caligula level of like my hedonism. So like I lay on my couch for days at a time and I have slaves come, enslaved people come in and they match food with their feet and then they put it in a funnel to a tube that's shoved down my throat.
Yeah, but the problem is the tube is screwing up your voice, so
exactly.
you're gonna have to go to the plain old grape peeling, like
yeah,
the
I
old
guess.
days.
But I mean, after years of grape peeling and whatever, you just kind of get bored of it. I think I'm going to go full Shining and have somebody in a bear suit blow me.
It is the season for that. It's cold in Oregon, and I think you could probably really find somebody who'd be eager to wear a bear suit for that. I think
Excellent.
There's probably a whole section of the internet that's devoted to it.
Yeah, let me just type in bears, men,
Bears,
slave.
blowjobs.
Yeah, no, it's all Goldilocks related material. Eric, how are you?
Oh, I'm good. It's the holiday season, and I think I have something similar to like reverse sad. So like normal people with seasonal affective disorder get all sad in the winter, but I'm the other way around. Like I love it when it gets dark early. I love it when it's cold and rainy. I want it to snow like really, really badly. And I feel like the darkness lifts my spirit. Does that make me some sort of weird soggy goth?
I was thinking it might make you more of what's the opposite of the heat miser? What was the cold one's name?
I don't know.
Mr. Cold Miser or whatever from those old Breaking Bad specials.
Oh, God, I don't know.
I'm 107 years old, ladies and gentlemen. No, I think that makes you a Londoner.
Londoner?
Yeah. I think you're just...
yeah.
Your European roots are showing.
Yeah, for sure. I am very much a Northern European sort of person, I guess. I really like the Christmas season. My family has always been really into, decorating Christmas trees and putting up lights and making everything seem sort of like festive and fun. And we've got like traditional foods that we cook each other for Christmas and all that kind of stuff. Like yesterday, I went over to my brother's house and we decorated his Christmas tree and hung out and stuff.
Hey, speaking of that, audience know I finally met Eric's brother after knowing Eric for 7 years at this point.
It has been a while. Yeah.
So, has he talked about me? Did he bring me up at all?
He hasn't talked about you. I don't talk to my brother as much as I should. But other friends of mine have talked about you, and everybody has liked you. I don't know what's wrong with
your brother's so handsome, and I just...
He is, but he also, he's got a girlfriend, and he's got his music, and he's got his kids.
I'm not close-minded. She can come.
He doesn't have time for other people. For new people.
Fine.
Yeah.
I guess I have sex with one of your other relatives.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, let's talk about episode 21, Donny.
Yes.
Tell me the thing that you loved the most about this episode.
I mean, I love that it wasn't based on Donny Wahlberg. That was probably like the main takeaway, because I thought it was going to be like, oh God, it's the less talented Wahlberg, and the first Wahlberg isn't that talented in the first place. So that was that.
Okay, dig deeper. Like, what did you really, really love about this episode? If you don't get this, if you can't answer this question right, I am going to have an Adventure Time cry.
I think I know the answer you're searching for here.
Okay.
Yes, when I was younger, I used to watch a lot of professional wrestling, and Finn putting him into a rear naked choke was pretty funny. All right, you got me. Put the cuffs on, officer. You figured me out. No, I know exactly what you're talking about. I started writing the note, stupid, boring BMO is in this episode, and then the heavens parted. The gifts of God rained down, and BMO, with his little voice, sweet, sweet voice, spoke to us. Oh God!
Finally, like, we've been waiting for BMO to show up for realsies for, 21 episodes.
It was like a salve on my soul. It was a panacea. I was just literally midway typing about stupid, boring BMO being in this episode, and then just BMO talked, and it was only one sentence, but. Oh God! Gave me some juice.
So I'm kind of wondering, like, BMO talks after Donny the Grass Ogre knocks them across the room, and I'm wondering if that big jostle is what activated BMO. If BMO just needed to get smacked around a little bit for the artificial intelligence, for BMO's AI to kick in.
Yeah. I'm down with it. Yeah. I mean,
right.
This show, I think, violence solving everything. Probably that's a totally valid
That's true.
reading.
Violence does solve a lot. In fact, the episode sort of teaches us that being a jerk at least solves some problems.
Yeah. So while we're on the BMO part, just let me please read our quote from our dear savior BMO. I am incapable of all emotions, but you are making me chafed.
Which I kind of, like, when I heard it, I was sort of like, oh, I bet you that was just, I wonder if originally that was just going to be a throwaway, that that BMO wasn't ever going to speak again. They just had to have this one little joke thrown in there.
Yeah. I don't think they thought he was like a little boy yet. Let's bring up this now, just because we're talking about BMO.
Okay.
There is a thing on the internet.
Oh, no. Is this about the Bears?
No, there's a lot of that.
Okay.
This is a different thing on the internet.
Okay.
That is proposing BMO as a they/them.
Yeah.
Which okay, no, again, this is not me arguing. There's literally no they/them argument will be brooked on this podcast. We are the most accepting humans that can possibly be accepting in our age group. We're there with it. However,
but BMO refers to himself as a little boy.
As a little boy multiple times. So, you refer to BMO as a they right there, and I think you just because it's a robot and totally accurate usage.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to get it on the record here that if someone knows the reference from the internet and hears us, or especially me, brazenly calling BMO he, I'm going by the episodes wherein BMO refers to himself as a little boy.
Yeah, because BMO does seem to have a preference for being thought of as a little boy.
Yeah, so I just want to put that out there because I do see that frequently on the internet, the BMO, pronouns being they, them. If there's evidence for that, happy to change my mind. But the evidence that I have from the show would be BMO as being a little boy, because that's the sentence used at least once, probably more than that.
I will probably switch back and forth between those. I guess I don't.
It's fine. I just wanted to make sure that anybody in the audience that thinks I'm being like some kind of asshole, I'm being an asshole because I feel like the evidence leads towards this conclusion, not the other one.
Yeah, I mean, you're not really putting off clouds of obnoxygen about this. That's for sure.
I mean, no more than I usually do.
Yeah.
Okay. So now that I got my woke talk out of the way, what were you going to say?
Woke talk. Well, I mean, there are some fun things in this episode. First, the Y wolves are friggin' terrifying. Like, they are all teeth and pointy parts. Like, they almost kill the house people. Like, it's pretty brutal. They aren't the most effective at killing, but it is a kids show. But I mean, they rip that one house person open, and you can see that the houses are basically little costumes for creatures inside them.
Yeah, the bank house got got pretty messed up. I have questions about the wolves. Wolves in the I have multiple questions. Wolves in the Adventure Time universe can only infect other people using their bite. Because the reason I ask is because Finn clearly gets scratched on the arm.
Yeah.
And he doesn't start asking more why questions, or any of the reporter questions, for the rest of the episode. Just clarifying that.
Yeah, but we see... we haven't watched the Hug Wolf episode yet, have we? That's
I don't think we have.
That's season 2, I think. But, but I believe the Hug Wolf infects others with a hug.
I think that's what I was asking about the scratch from the wolf. And then, so the more important question is, and maybe that's why they did it, is why the wolf, other than the silly joke? They don't really ask many questions. They
don't.
Were vaguely intellectual for about 12 seconds.
I don't think that they ask questions. I think they answer questions. I think that's what a wolf does. A wolf answers questions.
So if the houses, let's say, were to propose, like they're being attacked, they're like, why are you attacking us? Then the wolves would be compelled to answer, much like Dracul having to count the pieces of sand thrown in front of him.
Yeah, or like the grains of rice. Stop and count everything. Yeah, I think that's probably the nature of the wolf. I think that's it. They have to answer questions. It's probably their biggest weakness. Yeah,
I feel like that probably should have been exploited more for the solution. I mean, Finn gave up real quick.
You know, I feel like I feel like one of the things that we saw in this, Jake did a really, really good job of reforming Donny the grass ogre and getting him to stop being a jerk. However, by the end of the episode, what we discover is that Donny really enjoys being a jerk. Like, it's kind of his natural way. I mean, he's a friggin' ogre. Ogres are jerks. Like, that's just how it is. But he does sort of seem to be really thankful that Finn and Jake helped him reach a new level of self-awareness, I suppose.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's the question. At least I've talked about a lot of, is your nature and the way that you're acting, we were talking about, the dharma of action. Is it the nature of him being a jerk, the correct thing? Or, because really...
The dharma of Donny.
Yeah, if it is, that would mean that Jake is actually essentially being sinful towards Donny by trying to civilize him into his version of culture. There's like that cultural relativism argument. He's being a jerk the proper way, the dharmic path for him,
Yeah, like, were they... they thought they were doing good. It's Finn and Jake's dharma to help others, and they thought they were helping. Like, they didn't know the right path. They just knew that they had to try to help. And it just so happened, that one of the things that Finn keeps learning over and over and over again is that the world is more complicated than it appears, and there's not always like a really straightforward answer to every problem.
Yes.
Which is a bummer, but that's how it is.
Well, so let's talk about, so Donny is a big old grass ogre jerk.
Yeah.
They meet him, they bring him back to the treehouse to try to, make him their friend or whatever.
I want to talk about how chickens in Adventure Time apparently shoot eggs when you squeeze them.
Yeah, I think that's how it works in real life too.
Well, maybe I don't have a chicken here to test, and it just seems like it'd be really rude to the chicken.
Oh, I'm sure it's rude, but I mean, he's a jerk, so yeah. He's shooting chicken eggs like a gun at the little houses.
Mm-hmm.
You also question why that chicken was there, because those houses are way too small for eggs. Like, it's the ecosystem doesn't make a lot of sense.
The chickens were rentals, though.
Yeah, why are they renting chickens though?
Well, maybe they do eat the eggs. I mean, if you think about it, like, one egg could feed an entire cute little house person for probably like 2 days.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, they probably just have to rent it and then, give it back. So every like 2 weeks or whatever, they rent a new chicken.
Yeah, I mean, they probably just need both. They probably just need those 2 chickens to feed the whole village. It's probably really economic.
Yeah, no, it's pretty, maybe I should move there. Be like the Shire.
I would assume that since they, the bank character, the little bank building guy, the one who got cracked in half and had to go spackle his cracks.
Oh, yeah.
He seemed to have a really healthy understanding of economics. You know, he seemed to be, he's probably the first person in Adventure Time, in the Adventure Time world that we've seen who could, you know, balance a checkbook and make a budget and that sort of thing.
Yeah, it's interesting, though, because, you know, what do they do for a living, the other houses, in order to need a bank?
I don't know. I mean, we can assume that they don't live in some sort of Calvinist society that demands that, you know, a tiny house person has to have a job and be a productive member of society in order to deserve existence as a tiny house person. I would assume that they're probably more socialist or something of that nature, where they just want to support each other because tiny house people are, by their nature, you know, house-like and inviting and wanting to provide shelter for each other. Although they are also jerks, because remember when they laughed at Donny at the end?
It's true. So, and it is the distant future, so they're probably just like running Bitcoin or whatever.
That's true. Yeah.
So, Finn goes back and discovers the Y-Wolves. While this is happening, Jake has cultured Donny into being a cellist and having good elocution.
Mm-hmm.
And
wearing pants.
And wearing pants, which is some kind of Garden of Eden metaphor or something. You know,
it is because he spends the first half of the thing with just a leaf over his genitals. The first half of the episode, he just wears a leaf over his genitals. So it is absolutely, those pants are a metaphor for being civilized and a nice person, which we see because we also discover in this episode that Jake also wears pants, which I don't think ever comes up again, but he wears pants spun from spider webs by pixies.
Yeah, I mean, I think we all just assumed that was true, though.
I just figured he was a dog.
Oh, no, I mean, pretty much anybody I meet, I just assume they've got like some kind of like external layer of some kind of magical see-through thing.
I feel like that's maybe not the most informed view of the world, but I will allow it.
I also assume everybody's wearing mithril. Makes life more magical. All right, so but the point of driving at here. So this episode is another one of those being a jerk can save the situation episodes, which we run into a little bit, where the message is ostensibly wrong. However, there's another awkward part here, and I know this phrasing wasn't as fraught or significant or heavy as it was back then, but there is a anti-no means no message in this episode, in which Donny makes his stance clear. He says, I do not want to go back and be a jerk. No means no, Finn. And then Finn completely ignores that, no consent, and drags him back into the world of jerkdom.
Yeah, it's sort of questionable behavior for a hero, isn't it? Because that is sort of, you know, it makes me think of like so many times where heroes sort of stand up for something and they're like, no, we will not sacrifice one to save the many.
Yeah.
And in this episode, Finn does.
Yeah.
In a way. He's sort of like, sorry, Donny, you have to go back against this to save these innocent creatures. You know, in a way, it's a tough question for Donny, because in order to really not be a jerk, he does have to help protect the innocent.
Yeah, okay.
Like in a way, him being a jerk is sort of his heroic role. Like he is a reluctant jerk at the end, but he has to do that in order to protect the innocent, because not protecting the innocent would be even more jerky.
Okay, yeah. That
Weird,
makes sense.
Huh? Yeah. And the only way he produces oxygen gas, which is, you know, poisonous to Y-wolves, is by being a jerk. Like, he has to be a jerk in order to do it.
Yeah.
It's
Which is weird that Y-wolves would be weak to oxygen gas. I think people that ask why a lot or know the answer to every question are very obnoxious.
True. Yeah, I agree. Maybe the Y-wolves lack the awareness of how obnoxious they are.
Yeah.
That's my theory.
Small note on this episode, language use. They turned Donny back into being a jerk by mocking his songs. If Jake has taught him various songs about how to put on pants, etc. And Jake refers to his songs as being super balls. Now, that seems just like a hair too crass for the children's show we're watching. I mean, I'm fine with it, but like it's weird because usually there's that tone and it's just a little past.
The next episode also has a really,
Yes.
really crass joke, which is related to this. Oddly enough, pixies are also mentioned in both of the episodes tonight, and we don't see them. In fact, I don't know if you ever see pixies in Adventure Time, but they do get mentioned, at least in these 2 episodes. But are there actually pixies?
I want to say there are, but I have no memory of that. It just feels like there should be. I mean, I guess we'll just keep our eyes open for that.
Yeah, or we could just look on the wiki.
Yeah, but that's, I feel like that's cheating.
I look on the wiki for every episode we do, just to see if there's anything that I missed. Oh, another important thing in this episode is the Cosmic Owl makes an appearance.
Yes.
This isn't his first appearance, but and he shows up in like dreams and stuff. I think this is like his second appearance probably, but he does apparently have a role as a balancer of ecosystems in his cosmic duties, because the Y-Wolves say that if Donny vanishes or doesn't produce some oxygen, then they will eat all of the house people and populate, and their population will grow so much that the cosmic owl will have to come and wipe them out.
Yes. Which doesn't feel like that's part of his job duties later in the show, but whatever. It's part of the text.
I feel like the cosmic owl mostly just shows up in dreams, doesn't he? Like, isn't there something later on, something about if the cosmic owl shows up in one of your dreams, then it's a prophetic dream and it's going to come true?
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought that was kind of his main job.
Yeah, and Jake befriends him at one point. Like, he becomes kind of a main character towards the end.
Yeah, he hangs out in Prismo's palace when he's like off work.
Oh, yeah. Jake befriends Prismo and Cosmic Owl's there.
Yeah,
that's what I was... Yeah, I combined those 2 characters into one.
Well, you shouldn't do that. Prismo's cool. Cosmic Owl's kind of obnoxious. Although he is an owl. Owls are cool. Well, I think it's time for a segment.
Well, I mean, first, Eric, I think we should probably just go stare wistfully at that lake.
Oh, that was
the last line. It was just such a weird throwaway line. I had to bring it up. Like,
I know.
I love it, but like, what a strange little thing to say between a dog and his little human friend.
Do you want to? Okay, so now that we have torn this episode to pieces, now that we have dissected all,
we've torn it asunder.
Do you want to change your opinion of it? Do you think it's actually an okay episode now, or are you still kind of like ugh on Donny?
I find it somewhat obnoxious. I don't like Donny as a character.
I don't think you're supposed to. He's a jerk.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think my main problem is I don't like Donny as a character too much. The Y-Wolves is a one joke premise that kind of compels the rest of the episode, and it's like I just think we've done the be a jerk to win the day message a bunch of times on the show already. Like, it just didn't trod new ground. I did love that BMO was in it. I mean, that probably makes it a winner. But it's not a bad episode. It just didn't wow me. It wasn't bringing the juice.
Okay. All right. Well, okay. Then now it's time for a segment. Hey, Alex.
Yeah. Hi, Eric.
You possibly have any shiny rocks that you've discovered lately?
Boy, howdy do I. And by that I mean I do. I thought I had it pulled up. Okay, I've had it pulled up the whole time. I'm good at show prep. I found a list of words that come from other languages that English doesn't have an equivalent. And I'm going to read them to you. This comes from the depths of Wikipedia.
Okay, I love these kinds of words. Yeah, I know a few of them, actually.
A few of these were very familiar to me. One I have almost no chance of coming within 10 feet of pronouncing correctly.
Cool.
So the first one, and this is the one that I loved this word in high school, and I haven't thought about it for a while, is saudade.
Saudade.
Yeah, it's a Portuguese word. I think it's Portuguese. They don't have the origin here, but my memory is of it being Portuguese. And it's like a melancholic state, a nostalgic longing for something that one loves, despite it not necessarily being real. It often carries a repressed knowledge that the object of longing may never be had again.
Ooh, I like it.
Yeah,
that's
Sodage.
that's good. That
Yeah.
feels like there should be poems about it.
Yes. Famous rock star I said Nicolas Cage. Nick Cave did a lecture on saudade and duende, which is another Portuguese word, and I forget what duende means. But yes, it's a word that has been written about, and probably poems were done. This one,
I like it.
Eric, you're going to know. Weltschmerz.
Oh yes, the Weltschmerz. Yes, when the world hurts.
Yeah, and literally world
Yeah.
pain or world weariness. And just, kind of a melancholic sadness about life. They say, a mood of weariness
are
or
you
sadness
just-
about life arising from the acute awareness of evil and suffering.
Okay, before we continue sifting through this pile of shiny rocks, are they all about being sad?
Yeah, I think
Are we
so.
just listing words from other languages that have to do with being sad?
Yeah, but like in a way that our language doesn't necessarily have the exact word for. And it's not all sad. Well, I mean, they're all kind of sad based. But
Okay.
Yeah. Like the next one is Mono no Aware, which
Mono no aware.
yeah. And that's translated literally the pathos of things. So it's
And that's Japanese, isn't it?
yes. So it's a sensitivity to ephemera. To the transience of things, both a transient gentle sadness or wistfulness at their passing, as well as a longer, deeper, gentle sadness about the state being the reality of life.
Mono no aware.
Yeah, mono no aware.
Mono no aware.
Yeah. So it's kind of, just like a empathy towards the ephemera, which is nice.
I like that one too. That's a good one.
And this is the one that, good luck, Alex. The word is MAMIHLAPINATAPAI.
Oh, can you put it in the chat box? I want to see this word.
Yes, I can. I'm going to have to type
Okay,
though,
okay.
because I have it as a picture form.
Well, that's weird.
Well, I stole it from,
Mama
it's MAMIH. One of those is an I. It just came out weird.
Tapai.
Mami Lapinata Pai.
Mami la pinatapai. Is that Tagalog?
It is from the Yagan language of Tierra del
Ooh.
Fuego. It is listed
Oh.
as the Guinness Book of World Records as the most succinct word. It allegedly refers to, I love that it says allegedly on here, a look that without words is shared by two people who will want to initiate something, but that neither will start, or looking at each other, hoping that the other will offer to do something which both parties desire but are willing to do. It's a cool word.
That is a cool word. That
Very
is a cool
succinct.
word. I have a shiny rock word.
Oh, please.
Okay, this is a word from a foreign language also, and the word is gezellig.
I have no idea what that means.
It's Dutch, and it refers to a certain type of cozy comfortableness.
Oh, okay. Like Hygie that got popular recently, which is
I don't know. Never heard that one.
Oh yeah, Hygge. It's one of those Scandinavian countries up there. It's kind of cozy winter comfort things. Yeah, Hygge. I think it's spelled.
Huh? That looks Norwegian or something. Yeah.
Oh, it's
okay.
Danish apparently. Yeah.
Danish. Oh. Then it probably has a really weird pronunciation.
Oh yeah, yeah. In no
real
way
life.
do I
I
think
mean-
what I just said is what another human would pronounce it. But the word I read on the internet is that. It's probably hoofja or something. What was your word again?
Gezellig.
Gezellig.
G. How do you spell gezellig? Gezellig, I believe. Gezellig.
And let me do one more.
Okay.
Let's do.
Probably only one L in gezellig now that I think about it. But
Oh, how dare you misspell that? Let's do. We haven't done a Welsh word in a while.
oh no.
And again, not even attempting. Don't know how to say Welsh things.
Okay.
Hiraeth, Hiraeth.
Okay, what's it mean?
So it likens it to a homesickness tinged with grief and sadness over the lost or departed. So kind of like homesick plus missing the people that are gone from in that hometown area.
Sort of like what all of the Asgardians left on Earth would feel about Asgard.
Yeah. Asgard probably has like a whole bunch of Hiraeth going on. And again, just
yeah.
no, that's not remotely close to how you say that word.
Yeah.
I looked
yeah.
up pronunciation and I'm like, no, Welsh is weird.
Welsh
If y'all
is
want to know
weird.
how to pronounce it, you can look it up. I spelled it for you.
Yeah, find your own Welshman.
Yeah.
Welsh person. Welsh human. Okay, all right, well, should we move on to the next episode?
Yeah, speaking of Welshmen, henchmen.
Henchman.
There's a transition.
This episode is a Marceline episode, which
Yes.
makes me really happy. I love Marceline episodes. You know, okay, so this is episode 22, and there's only, I think, 26 episodes in season 1, so we are getting so close to season 2, which I am really excited about. Season 2 is just packed with season 2 is an improvement over season 1.
Correct.
But yeah, so in this episode, Marceline tricks Finn into becoming her henchman, and hijinks ensue. The hijinks, of course, being Marceline just fucking with Finn's mind, like just, you know, because she's not. This is sort of the episode where we really, really discover that Marceline isn't actually a villain.
Yeah, she is a bored immortal, just fucking
She's
with
a
people.
bored
Yeah.
immortal. Yeah. And I don't think she's really at this point. Yeah, I mean, yeah, she's a bored immortal. But in the opening scene of this episode, Finn and Jake are playing on what looks like a dragon skeleton,
Yeah.
which was awesome. I mean, I don't think you ever see a dragon in Adventure Time, but if you did, they're big. Like the skeleton was huge.
Yeah, I wonder if they killed it.
Well, I mean, they couldn't have. There's no way it would be reduced to a skeleton in Finn's lifetime, you know? I mean, maybe it would. But Finn would have had to have been a baby, probably.
Yeah, that's true. I forgot about that whole how nature works. I wonder where.
Yeah.
So in the we'll get back to Marceline in a second. In the world
Okay.
of Adventure Time, this is like 1,000 years after the Mushroom War, right? How
Mm-hmm.
the hell did dragons evolve so quickly?
Well, magic. Remember,
Oh,
because
do you think they're
magic
magical dragons? Okay, I was thinking.
Yeah,
I was thinking
yeah.
just like dinosaur-y dragons.
I mean, we're already looking at, like, there's, you know, this episode has the nut people. It has, you know, Marceline, who's a vampire half demon. It has,
Yeah, but those are magical. I guess dragons in my head were like dinosaurs with wings. You know, they're just
oh, no,
like
I think
they're just
dragons
meat
must
and
be magical.
meat and electricity. You know, like us.
Yeah. We see some interesting magic powers from Marceline in this episode. First, she has some sort of weird telekinesis that she uses to bend Finn's arms in a weird way. And then second, she's able to cast Animate Dead and get skeletons to rise from their graves.
Yeah.
Two magic powers that I don't really think we ever see her use again.
Yeah, you would think the whole necromancy aspect would come back at some point. But
Yeah,
no,
you would.
apparently she can just bring skeletons back from the dead and have them be her band, I think is what happened. Or
Yeah, they were just coming to the party.
I wonder how she knows
The
those
funny
guys.
thing about the skeletons is they all have like swords and shields and stuff.
Yeah.
So whatever they were, they must have been some civilization that existed after the Mushroom War, but before today. So they're not like actually ancient European warrior skeletons. They're some other race of something.
Yeah. I mean, they could just
But-
be, you know, I mean, I don't know. It's 1,000 years. Bones last a while. Maybe, yeah.
They last a while, but like, you know, buried in ground like that, they wouldn't last forever.
Oh, yeah,
and
that's true.
They'd
Yeah.
be in really, really bad shape. So yeah. Anyhow, so Marceline has all these like, you know, she tricks Finn into becoming her henchman, and then they go on, you know, a number of little adventures where it's all, you know, Marceline making it seem like Finn's about to do something really, really bad, but it ends up that he's doing something really good. And then Jake has a great, Jake, of course, is terrified of Marceline and has been since she was first introduced. But there's this great line where Jake says, "She scares the filling out of my donut." Yeah. I was just like, that's good. I like that.
That is a fun line.
Yeah. Yeah, this episode is a fun one. Like, it's all about, I think, the development of Marceline's character. But we do get to see, again, the Duke and Duchess of Nuts.
Yes, and this is the other kind of adult joke in the where you referenced the last episode. That they go to the...
oh, it's so stupid.
that they're going to sack their nut castle. Yeah. My nut castle.
Want to sack my nut castle?
Sack my nut castle. Yeah, it's definitely something.
Yeah. And Finn is so clueless, but by the end of the episode, he figures out that Marceline is screwing with him, and she releases him after an epic fight between Marceline and Jake. Like, Jake does so much better at this fight than he did on their first fight in the cave, where he basically had to move all of his organs to one side of his body so he wouldn't get sucked to death, sucked dry.
True.
He did a good job. He attacked Marceline in the daytime. He had steaks and garlic. Like, he was ready. Like, he really was so dedicated to saving Finn. Like, he went full vampire hunter, and he faced his fear. Of course, he thinks he killed Marceline, or at least vanquished her, but
there was some trickery afoot.
Yeah, there was trickery afoot. But by the end, Marceline and Marceline and Finn at least have become friends.
Yeah.
And I think Marceline is probably like the only female humanoid character that Finn doesn't get a crush on.
No, he gets a crush on her.
Does he, you think?
Yeah, there's a Marceline crush thing. Or at least I'm pretty sure there is. I think there's a couple episodes where he kind of hits on her.
Maybe. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, she's Marceline.
Yeah, I mean, definitely my choice of the people left over,
Mm-hmm.
So a couple kind of points in the episode to go over. Their first victim gets introduced like this, where Marceline says, "Well, you've replaced my henchman," because Finn decided to take the place of this elderly person that is Marceline's henchman, or at least pretending to be. And she's like, "Well, you're going to help me feed." And Finn's response is so great. He's like oats? Or like sentient beings? Or like oats? I love that his first two thoughts of what she would eat is oats or sentient beings.
Yeah, I mean, and the funny thing is, like, we've already been introduced to the fact that Marceline likes to eat the color red. So, immediately when the target shows up and he's got that huge red bow tie, it's kind of obvious Marceline's going for the color. Yeah.
But I did enjoy the red bow tie, and then Marceline fucking with Finn, going, "Hey, were you thinking about how that guy's bow tie looked like a bra after I sucked the red out of it?"
And Finn's like, "No," and honestly, he wasn't thinking of it. He was terrified of what was going to happen next. Like, he honestly, I don't think he really gave a shit about the fact that the bow tie looked like a bra.
Yeah. We also get one of our first incantations, which is "Corpses buried in mud that's black. From death I command you to come back."
Yeah, we might have to try that next Halloween.
Yeah, I don't know how much necromancy we want to do.
Oh, come on. A little bit of necromancy. A little bit of light necromancy has never hurt anybody.
Fair enough. We better pick somebody that's sexy, though. I only want sexy reanimated corpses.
None of them will be sexy, I promise.
Well, we could find a freshie.
Gross. God.
Another point.
You had to take it in a dark direction.
One of the skeletons, when they come back to life, grabs Finn's butt, which is a very weird.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I think I missed that.
Yeah.
That was Marceline controlling the skeletons.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's a fun fight between Finn and a dimple plant, where the dimple plant is this adorable thing that turns into like a hideous monster that Finn thought he had to kill the cute thing. It turns out he had to destroy the hideous monster that the cute thing turns into.
Mm-hmm. Which he does, using Marceline's axe bass.
Yes. One of the,
This is the first appearance of Marceline's axe bass.
yeah, I believe it is.
Yeah.
So here's the main Marceline thing we learned in this episode. One, she's fucking with him. Two, there's a conversation between Finn and Marceline where Finn's like, doesn't the sunlight kill you? And she's like, no, it just hurts a bit. It's like when you scrape your knees as a kid, and my mom would come in and patch me up.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And then
which is...
Finn responds with, Jake told me I was born out of a cabbage. Funny line. But this
Yeah.
is the first reference to, one, Marceline having a somewhat human, or at least she wasn't born an adult vampire. Like she had at some point had knees that could be scraped and had a mother.
Yes. Yeah, and it's and it's kind of a really human moment for Marceline to sort of share this kind of what's the word that that is about yearning for a place that is gone and people who are no longer around.
Hyrath?
Hyrath.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
that's not how you
yeah.
say it, but that's what I'm going with.
Right, but
Yeah.
that's definitely the emotion that Marceline feels. Like
Yeah.
Marceline, you know, and Marceline is one of the characters with a really, really tragic backstory. A really tragic and difficult backstory, which, you know, we're going to actually start getting into in like right in the beginning of season 1 or season 2, which I'm really excited about talking about. But it was yeah, so that was kind of neat to see. Again, it's really difficult to tell at this point how much thought like Pendleton Ward had put into Marceline's backstory. So I don't know that we really know yet. I don't know. But yeah, it's a cool little bit. Agreed.
Maybe we should let's just ask Pendleton Ward.
We need to can we just call him?
Yeah, I mean, we got to get his number first.
Yeah, maybe we can find him on like Twitter or something like that.
Yeah. Dear Mr. Ward, would you like to talk about a show you're finished with for a long time with two middle-aged guys?
God, if we got Pendleton Ward on this podcast, that would be amazing. I don't know how that had ever happened, but I would love it.
Yeah, it would be be
yeah.
interesting.
I mean, maybe somebody out there knows how to get a hold of him. If you know how to get a hold of Pendleton Ward, connect us with him. We want to talk to him about Adventure Time.
Yeah, I'd be into it.
Audience. Yeah.
I think it'd be overwhelming.
Yeah, he might be. That would be a little. He might have a little bit too much celebrity for us to handle.
Yeah, and
What are you doing? You seem like you just got extra sad.
no, I was gonna look for something, and then I realized that there's no way it can happen while we're still talking, and I just gave up the bit.
Okay.
I was
so yeah.
experiencing a longing for something I'll never have. Pendleton Ward.
Oh. That was the first word. What was the first word?
Oh God, that was a while ago.
Oh, God.
Was that Mano no Aware?
Mono no aware?
Oh no, the first one was Sodage.
Sodage.
Yeah.
Were you having Sodage just there?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Okay, cool. That's cool. All right. So, and then of course this episode ends with, you know, the last task that Marceline has for Finn is like, let's go strangle some pixies. It's the pixies reference where again, we don't get around to seeing the pixies, but maybe they're out there. Maybe they're out there. You know, I mean, I have the Adventure Time wiki open in another window. I'm going to look.
Yeah, find out.
I guess people probably have figured out by now that we're recording remotely, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I would assume it's reasonably obvious.
Let's see. They're first mentioned in Donny, then they're mentioned in Henchman. They have never been seen.
Oh.
In fact, I don't think they're ever mentioned again. These are the two. There are fart fairies, but there are no pixies.
Oh, that's crazy. One would have thought. But I guess fairies they're close enough to pixies. It's fine.
Yeah, so that's sort of that is our Adventure Time trivia section. There are no pixies.
Yes.
Yeah, so neither of these episodes had any new exciting voice actors, although, you know, the BMO appearance, BMO is played by the same voice actor that does Lady Rainicorn.
Yeah, the Korean lady.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't remember her name.
Pexi Pixie Pestinome.
Pixie Pestinome.
That is the spell that Gilderoy Lockhart tried to use to dispel the pixies in Harry Potter.
Oh.
I've been trying to think of it if I could remember it, and I did. So I just wanted to say it on the show.
Well done.
Yeah,
Well done.
You're welcome. You're welcome, everybody at home as well.
Okay. All right. So I think the first thing we should do while our episode discussions are fresh in our minds is we should vote on who won these episodes.
Oh, well remembered. Yes.
Yes.
If you have somebody,
I'm gonna vote.
Yeah, please vote.
I'm voting BMO. BMO is a minor background character in the episode.
Yeah. Oh man, you're right. Because I didn't think of BMO because BMO becomes BMO, but yeah, in this episode, BMO is like a fourth string guy.
Who are you gonna pick originally?
I was gonna pick the bank house.
Well, the bank house.
No, but
he's a little. I don't know. He's a little more. I think he's interesting, but if you were gonna pick a strange house character, I think I would probably pick the well.
Oh, the old man will? Yeah.
Yeah, because like all of the other house people, you can sort of look at them, and especially after the bank gets cracked in half and you realize that there's like a little critter inside, you can be like, oh, the houses are basically just their suits. But the well,
Yeah, it's actually.
how does that work?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with BMO though, because now that we've
Okay, me too.
established that's a third stringer, fourth stringer. Yeah, BMO. BMO wins the episode.
BMO wins. All right, good job, BMO. Congratulations.
Eric,
Yay!
I've heard tell that you have a segment for us.
I do. I have a segment. So I just received a late birthday gift, and it is a tarot deck, and I want you to hold on to something, Alex, because this is pretty exciting.
Okay, I'm holding on.
The Garbage Pail Kids
Wow.
Tarot.
I did not know
Yes.
that existed. That's awesome.
I didn't either. This book, it has a really, really large book. This is definitely a tarot deck that is aimed at fans of the Garbage Pail Kids. I mean, I had Garbage Pail Kid cards when I was a wee Reverend Eric, way back in the old days. And apparently a lot of the cards feature Garbage Pail characters that that fans would be familiar with, but the cards all have the names of the actual tarot cards. So, like, the Seven of... I think the book tells us. The book informs us of various things. So, like, the Hierophant is Brainy Janie.
I bet you one's going to be Atomic Atom.
Yes, the Emperor is Atom Bomb.
Atom Bomb, that's the one I was thinking of. Yeah.
Yeah, he looks cool. Yeah, it's a really, really cute deck. I haven't shuffled it or tried to do a reading with it or anything. Would you like? I don't even know if it's good for shuffling. Let's find out.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do a.
All right.
Pop out some 3-card goodness. We'll
Okay, here we go.
divine the future and the present and the past and all the things.
With Garbage Pail Kids. I will say it's definitely more of a novelty deck than a deck. The card stock is a little thin.
Sounds
and
thin,
it
actually.
shuffles. It has sort of a shuffle that feels a little flaccid, I would say.
Yeah, that sounds like a flaccid Garbage Pail Kids deck.
But the cards are a good size. They're a little larger than normal tarot cards. Yeah. Anyhow, it's not the best shuffler. We'll see how it goes. I hope the shuffling sounds cool.
Yeah, I think the ASMR heads at home are going nuts.
They're all like, ooh, shuffling cards. So do you have a question that we should be answering? What should we be doing a reading about?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah,
what's going on in the future? Let's do like can we do like a
future of the
general
podcast?
General Grievous question?
Oh, like the future of the whole world?
No, in my future. I'm selfish.
Oh, your future.
Yeah.
Your future. Okay. All right. That sounds good. O great tarot, reveal unto us the future of Alex.
Cards based on the greatest movie ever made.
Oh God! Oh my God! That movie is so terrible.
It's really fucking bad.
I read a little bit in the guidebook, and I think what it said was that they didn't. Most of the cards are from the original Garbage Pail Kids, but there are a couple new characters that they created for a couple of the cards.
Oh.
Okay, so I don't know if that was the best shuffle. We'll find out. Card 1, which I'm going to put as the let's do the future situation card. Ah, you got the Emperor.
All right. Wow.
Atom bomb.
Damn.
All right. Wow, that's weird.
Called it.
Yep. It's not. Come on, focus.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, so that's the Emperor is atom bomb. Like, I mean, geez, that's a shitty future if it's an atomic bomb. Hopefully, I mean, the Emperor in traditional reading would represent some sort of material power or material gain, or perhaps control over your surroundings in a way that is probably good. So this could be a really good card. I just feel like atom bomb changes the thing.
Yeah, the dynamic switches a little bit.
A powerful patriarch. Although the powerful patriarch is just as capable of causing calamity as he is of creating peace. The card advises you to remember that rash decisions can have explosive consequences.
Oh, clever.
Yes. Okay. Now, here's the what to avoid card. Oh, that's probably a good one. The 5 of coins. I do not recognize the characters on it.
I don't either.
Let me take a look and see. 5 of coins.
It's all the medium, not white book.
Yeah. 3, there's the 4. The 5 of coins has J, Decay, and Scary Carry. This is warning you, in order to, achieve your explosive emperorhood, you should be careful with money. Oh, this is interesting. I mean, I don't really normally read the meanings of cards out of the books, but this one does say that if you're feeling discouraged and desperate, know that it is only short term and that there is financial stability ahead. So I would say that as a what to avoid card, it's probably telling you to not sink too far into the desperation that might feel like it's coming from financial instability at the moment.
Yeah, and I should probably stop having like full-time food shovers.
Yeah, you might need to downsize your domestic staff.
Okay. I mean, I can do that. I can, it's going to be tough, but, I could probably have at least just, maybe only one slave.
Yeah, I think that would be fiscally responsible.
Yeah.
Okay, and then what to pursue? The world. Okay, this is a good card.
All
the
right.
world is kind of, the Emperor and the world, I would say the big message there is to work on completing projects, work on completing things that you've been after for a long time. The world is all about sort of finishing and completion. Guess what? Yeah, the cards are actually marked. All new character. The world is Masterpiece Eunice. That's a horrible name.
Masterpiece Eunice?
Masterpiece Eunice.
Okay. Why? Okay.
I don't know.
That kind of ruins the whole alliterative thing they had going.
Yeah. I mean, maybe Masterpiece and Eunice. Maybe it's supposed to rhyme.
Masterpiece Eunice. I mean, yeah, that's a stretch, but at least that somewhat makes some kind of sense. Yeah.
Maybe. The world represents completion, mastery, and accomplishment. It's basically, your life is your masterpiece. You should be remembering that and working towards enjoying the life that you've created for yourself. Oh, it has a really nice thing to say about you, Alex. It says, proudly enjoy the life you've created for yourself. You're out of this world.
Aw, thanks, Garbage Pail Kids.
Yeah, they really like you.
Well, I am a garbage person, so it all works out. They're my people.
Yeah, I gotta say, it is definitely a novelty deck. It's pretty adorable. The artwork on the cards is good. I think. I mean, you can see the borders are really, really big.
Oh, yeah.
Right. So the borders are pretty thick, which I think kind of makes the artwork a little bit cramped. But yeah, overall, if you're a Garbage Pail Kids fan, I would say this is a fun deck.
Excellent. Thank you for the future reading, Reverend Eric.
You are welcome, Alex. Well, I have one more segment. I just have a cool project that I've been working on that I thought I would mention. Yeah, I've been kind of getting a little bit of an itch to do more Dungeons & Dragons stuff again, and I've been sort of looking at ways to do it online and things like that. But one of the things that I have been doing, this is going to be really nerdy, so bear with me. Okay, so I use Emacs on my computer, which is basically I guess in a way it's sort of a programmer's editor, but it's a very programmable, extensible system that I use for editing everything, documents. I use it for writing. But I've been working on an extension for Emacs that connects to the Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition API and can pull in like monster stats and monster information while I'm writing.
Oh, cool.
Which is pretty cool. I'll furnish you with the links. You can put it in the show notes so that if there are any other D&D nerds out there, which there must be, I'm sure there are D&D nerds out there. Adventure Time attracts D&D nerds.
I would assume so, yeah.
Yeah, so so if anybody wants to check it out, if you're also an Emacs user and you want to, really, really get your nerd on, this would be a good way.
Cool.
Do it. Yeah. Well, do you want to wrap up the show?
Yes. I would just like to tell all of y'all out there that we are WizBiz Podcast at I don't never remember our name. What are we? WizBiz Pod?
WizBiz Podcast.
It is podcast.
We are WizBiz Podcast
on everything.
On everything. WizBizPodcast.com, WizBiz Podcast on Twitter, WizBiz Podcast on Instagram. You can find us everywhere. We're still on Twitter, although it is getting worse and worse there.
Yeah, I really need a front runner to arise because Mastodon's not going to be it. So I'm hoping one of the other ones really kind of takes the lead so we could start putting effort over there. But for right now, Twitter is still.
I mean, I've been using Mastodon and I really like it. But there's nobody talking about Adventure Time on Mastodon, and that makes it sort of a difficult place for us to find our fans. But you know what? I have gotten a few really, really nice pieces of feedback on WizBiz lately.
Oh, good.
Lux Estrada from the Luxicult podcast, I recently interviewed her, and she was super excited about the WizBiz podcast and said that we're doing a really good job. And I just got an email from somebody saying that they loved the WizBiz podcast and they're really enjoying it.
Oh, fantastic.
So people are starting to pay attention, and like I'm sure we've mentioned before, podcasting a lot of times feels like you're sort of shouting into a void. So it's just always really, really lovely to hear from our listeners.
Yeah, for real. It is. It is. Keeps the lights on, keeps things going. It's nice.
It does. Yeah. Yeah. So tell a friend about us.
Yeah. Tell two.
And tweet at us. Yeah. Yeah. Tell two friends. Yeah, that's good. That's it. I think we got it. Is that the end of the episode?
Yeah, I think we're good. We'll see you next time.
Awesome.
Bye.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Goodbye, Gunter.